Namaste, Angel. This is going to be the general weekly reading for the period of Sunday, January 7th through Saturday, January 13th. And then next week, there's a couple of things also that I just want to mention. The 16th, there is the new moon in Capricorn. And on the 17th, the month of Shavat begins. It's funny, well, to me, because weird stuff is funny to me. It's funny to me because it's the 11th month of the ecclesiastical year, starting from, if you start counting from Nisan. So obviously, if you start counting from the Jewish New Year, the Hebrew New Year, that would be Rosh Hashanah, that would be September. Then this would be, what, month 5? But again, counting from Nisan, it's the 11th month. So I thought it was funny because we just went into like an 11-year or a 2-year. And the month of Shavat will in part cover February, which is our 2-month or 11-month on the Gregorian calendar as well. So funny in that sense to me. That's the 16th. Again, new moon in Capricorn. 17th month of Shavat begins. And I think there was something else. There's something on the 19th too. Maybe it'll come to me during the reading. In any case, let me go to, oh, you know what? Let me go over I guess, the beginning of the month to present. And I usually try to separate the spiritual from the astronomy, from the astrology, but I'm just going to do the dates so that I can try to remember better. Because remember last month I kept skipping over Chiron going direct. So I'm going to try to avoid that again. All right. So on the 1st, the full moon in Cancer. It was also the feast day of the Solemnity of Mary. The 2nd was for some, if you were in Asia or Europe, it was your full moon in Cancer. That's also the day that Uranus, which rules Aquarius, went direct. The 3rd, Holy Name of Jesus. The 4th, I think the 4th through the 5th was nothing. The 6th, which is today, the day on which I'm doing this reading, it is now 1:56 in the morning, or 1:11. Today is the feast day of the Holy Family, where Jesus, Mary, and Joseph are all three celebrated as a unit. And tomorrow, Sunday, the first day for which this reading is the day that Mars and Jupiter come together. And it's also the baptism of Jesus. I think I may do a promo. So hopefully this video will be up before then. I think I may do a promo. I got to come up with what kind. Divine light cleanse or energy work in general, energy healing work in general promo for the 7th, that day, the feast day of the baptism of Jesus, to give others among us, other divine masculine, like Jesus, the opportunity to cleanse on the same day on which Jesus is being celebrated. I think that may be cool. Let us all wash at the same time. When I was having those like revelations or whatever during the reading last week about that, like realizing what they were trying to show me was about the baptism and washing. I thought about that song also, when Jesus washed the sins away. Oh, happy day. So I had to listen to it after the reading. In any case, so that is through the 7th. And then I can't think of anything else. And maybe I will after. But until the 16th, which again is next week for next week's reading. And that is the new moon in Capricorn. So, all right, so we'll stop there. I'll do the sky this week, because there's nothing on the Jewish calendar. And the only thing that's, well, you know what, let me just go over real quick the baptism of Jesus. I think it's pretty straightforward what the baptism of Jesus is. But from Wikipedia, here it goes. The baptism of Jesus Christ, or also called the baptism of Christ, is a feast day commemorating the baptism of Jesus in the Jordan River by John the Baptist, who was his cousin. They don't have it written here, but that's his cousin. Originally, the baptism of Christ was celebrated on the Epiphany, which is the 6th. Oh, I left that out. So the 6th today is also the feast day of the Epiphany, which is Little Christmas or Three Kings. Some other people call it too. Other names for the Epiphany. That commemorates the coming of the Magi, or the Three Kings. The baptism of Christ and the wedding at Cana. So all three were celebrated. The Epiphany, the baptism of Christ, and the wedding at Cana were all celebrated at the same time at one point, apparently, originally. Over time, in the West, however, the celebration of the baptism of the Lord came to be commemorated as a distinct feast day from the Epiphany. It is celebrated in the Roman Catholic Church as well as the Anglican and Lutheran churches on the first Sunday following the Epiphany of our Lord, which is January 6th. All right, so with that, I'll go to the sky this week because, like I said, there's nothing on the Jewish calendar until the 17th, which is next week. And there's nothing on the Christian calendar for us other than the 7th. On the 12th is the feast day of Saint Marguerite. Anybody wants to look into that or celebrate that. And on Saturday the 13th is Saint Hilary of Poitiers, bishop and doctor. That's it. All right, to the sky this week, beginning January 7th, Sunday, Mars and Jupiter enjoy a stunning conjunction this morning. So this is what I've been talking about. The two planets stand just 16 feet apart, half the moon's diameter. This is the closest they've been since September of 2004, though they were then just a few degrees from the sun and lost in our sun's glare. They haven't been this close and visible, so not only this close, but simultaneously visible as well, since January 1998. The pair rises shortly before 3 a.m. local time and looks great with the naked eye or binoculars. A telescope shows both in a single low-power field of view. Mars appears 5 inches across, while Jupiter, despite lying 3 times farther away, spans 34 inches. Although people in the Northern Hemisphere experienced the shortest day of the year more than 2 weeks ago, the winter solstice, December 21st, I still have that reading up for those of you who didn't see it, by the way, because we may still be feeling that. The sun has continued to rise slightly later with each passing day. That trend stops this morning for those at 35 degrees north latitude. Tomorrow's sunrise will arrive about 2 seconds earlier than today's. This turnover point depends on latitude. If you live farther north, the switch occurred a few days ago. Closer to the equator, the change won't happen until late January. Monday, January 8th. The last quarter moon occurs at 5:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The moon doesn't rise until after midnight, however, by which time it will appear slightly less than half lit. It climbs highest in the south during morning twilight. The moon spends the morning hours among the background stars of Virgo, the maiden. That's Monday. Tuesday, January 9th. The variable star Algol in Perseus appears faintest at 12:56 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning, when it shines at a magnitude of 3.4. If you start watching it immediately after darkness falls this evening, you can see it dim from its peak brightness, which is a magnitude of 2.1, to a minimum, and then rise back again to a maximum, all in a single night. This eclipsing binary star runs through a cycle from minimum to maximum and then back again every 2.87 days. But the drop from peak brightness and subsequent rise lasts only about 10 hours. Algol appears nearly overhead after darkness and descends toward the northwestern horizon after midnight. Venus and Pluto, Both pass on the far side of the sun from our perspective today. So this is interesting too, because Venus and Pluto is basically Gemini and Scorpio. Venus passes through conjunction. She goes first at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and is followed by Pluto 3 hours later. If they were visible in the sun's glare, Venus would appear 0.7 degrees south of our star, and Pluto would lie 0.4 degrees north of the sun. Wednesday, January 10th. Observers who target Jupiter through their telescopes this morning can see two moons disappear simultaneously. Both Io and Europa pass into the giant planet's shadow at 5:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For the best views, track the pair for the half hour leading up to the eclipse, and then watch them disappear over several minutes. By the way, Wednesday, January 10th, that day about which I just read, is an 11/11, as was the first of the month. Again, also the solemnity of Mary and the full moon in Cancer. It was a really busy day. Thursday, January 11th, a waning crescent moon joins Mars and Jupiter for a stunning pre-dawn display. Mars stands 4.6 degrees south of the moon, while Jupiter lies 2.1 degrees west of the red planet. Use binoculars for a close-up view or just enjoy the scene with your naked eye. Friday, January 12th, the brightest star in the night sky puts on a nice show January evenings, gleaming at a magnitude of -1.5. Sirius, some more Venus, Isis. Sirius shines nearly 4 times brighter than the next brightest star, visible from mid-northern latitudes. Arcturus in the constellation Boots. That's not a full sentence. They have it as they have that as a sentence here. If you look at www.astronomy.com under the sky this week for this week, Friday, January 12th, they have that's a sentence. Arcturus in the constellation Boots, period. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. In any case, Sirius currently rises shortly after 6 p.m. local time and ascends in the southeast throughout the evening hours. Saturday, January 13th. Look low in the southeast before dawn to find 2 bright planets standing next to each other. Mercury appears brighter, shining at a magnitude of -0.3, while Saturn glows at a magnitude of 0.5. Both lie 7 degrees above the horizon a half hour before sunrise, with Saturn 0.6 degrees, which is about a diameter of a full moon, north of the inner planet. Binoculars will afford the best view of this pretty conjunction. And lastly, that was the last day of our reading, the 13th. But lastly, for the week, rounding out this, what they have listed here, Sunday, January 14th. Although Uranus reached opposition nearly 3 months ago, it remains a tempting target. The outer planet climbs highest in the south around 6 p.m. local time when it appears 2/3 of the way to the zenith. The magnitude 5.8 world lies in southeastern Pisces, 3.5 degrees of the 4th magnitude star Omicron Pisceum. Although Uranus shines brightly enough to glimpse with the naked eye under the dark sky, binoculars make the task much easier. A telescope reveals the planet's blue-green disk, which spans 3.5 inches. And that was that. All right, so where are my dice? Oh, I didn't tell you what I was starting with. Aw, 29. Maybe I was meant to shake them up like that so the 29 could be here yet again. 29. Sex. And this did say 50-50. Now it's no. So it could either go either way or no. Sex is still on the table, literally. Buy shoes. and forget it. I'll begin with the animal tarot first, since it's here on top. In the Ace of Summer, which can represent a water sign, perhaps, not necessarily, but as a court card it can. Maybe that Cancer, full moon, Pisces, Scorpio, or anybody taking on those traits or attributes. Also all about new beginnings that make us emotionally happy, full of joy. Often reconciliations and reunions that, again, make us, they might, maybe not romantic. It can be with family members and things like that, but it makes us emotionally happy, like fulfilled, joyous. It can be the birth of a baby, a wedding, getting a new house, you know, something that's going to really overwhelm you. This is the beginning of a new emotional experience for you. It may be the first blush of romantic love, the rebirth of a current relationship, or the awakening of spiritual gifts and insights. Yes, it can be that too. And opening to the Chariot, which does represent the sign of Cancer, and is about victory. You're in the driver's seat. You're at the helm of your own life. It can also be about movement, both physically and metaphorically. It can be about travel. It can be about modes of transportations or modes of travel, planes, trains, automobiles, all those things. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies at once through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and recognition that you're getting. Ace of Summer and Strength represents the sign of Leo, or perhaps another fire sign. True strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. Ace of Summer and the Three of Autumn. Your most satisfying and profitable career comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. That, I would say, the same goes for relationships. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth onto the world. Three of Autumn. I'm going to cut. That can also be about a party of three, of course. Not necessarily romantic or a love triangle, but that's a possibility too. Maybe involving an earth sign. And coming to the Two of Winter, about a decision. Procrastination and worrying what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your inner guidance. And I don't remember about reading about any Leo just now, but here's some more. Well, actually, in the tarot, the sun represents the sign of Sagittarius, but Earth's star, well, I guess I did read about Earth's star. Earth's star, the sun, does rule the sign of Leo. Your plans will work out, and they'll work out well, bringing you happiness, prosperity, and success. You'll garner the recognition for your accomplishments you so richly deserve. So it sounds like the makings for a good week already. That is our overall energy. Masculine, wow, the Two of Spring, your vision, creativity, and dedication, your dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors or to expand the number of people helping you. The Two of Spring, as it relates to work and your general life, is like you've got two stakes in the ground. So you're halfway to having a solid foundation. As it relates to love, or at least for divine unions, you guys know the Two of Spring is the divine union, or quote unquote twin flame card of the tarot. Masculine surrounded by the Ten of Spring. You're working far too hard and the stress will soon become too much. Reach out for help from others and take some time to play and enjoy life. The 10 of spring is about, yes, like one person trying to do it all. And it's not working out in a helpful way for them. But thankfully, somehow they're going to reach the end of the time when they're doing that. And they're going to unload some of what they're doing. I just realized I just did all that talking about Mars and Jupiter. Forget the sun. That's what all this fire energy is about. Mars and Jupiter. And when I picked up the sun here, underneath it, speaking of Mars, ruler of Scorpio, is the Prince of Summer. Romantic flirtations, introspective, and enchanting. That is what that describes the Prince of Summer, or the Knight of Water, Knight of Cups. A deeply emotional and probably romantic experience will sweep you off your feet. Things can move very quickly during such a whirlwind encounter, so stay balanced and make decisions with both your heart and your intellect. And they will, again, work out well, and they may be with regard to your children or a soulmate or somebody from your past that you remember fondly. You may be looking back at your life. The love and care of children could become an important part of your way of life, or people from your childhood may return to it. Old memories can be healed, or possibly old childhood dreams are ready to be revived. So that was there under the sun. But Mars rules not only Aries, but Scorpio. And Jupiter rules Sagittarius. And I said the sun represents the sign of Sagittarius in the tarot, actually not Leo. And these two can be here for the same reason, either Mars or Jupiter. So it's more fire energy, of course. In the masculine subconscious, the 7 of spring. Be assertive, believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take away your personal power. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. So don't deviate from your own, heart and mind. Feminine, we have a 7 mirroring the masculine 7. Ours is of earth, maybe representing Capricorn or that Virgo that we just read about. The planning, resources, and efforts you've invested in as part of your dream will reap great rewards. In the meantime, have patience and meditate on your next steps. Surrounded by another 7, the 7 of winter. I'm not really a fan of this one. This one could be about theft, distrust, like a sneaky, shady kind of person. It can be about our own risky energy, like we're thinking about taking a risk or something. Caution will help you to avoid the loss of valuables, including non-material resources such as your time or peace of mind. Be aware of the results of your actions as well as what others might be doing behind your back. So it's that kind of, shady business. And in the feminine subconscious, the king of autumn, who is compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and grounded, and may very well, again, be a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. Everything's going to turn out great. Projects will be stunningly successful. Exciting new career opportunities are possible, and money or resources that will come your way will be invested wisely. Don't let anybody try to take it from you. Somebody's trying to mess something up that you've been working on, that you've manifested, and you've been patiently waiting for it. Okay, don't let somebody ruin it for you. Aww, I had this 2 days in a row for my own. I rarely do a spread for myself, but every now and then I'm guided to. And this week I was guided to do it 2 days in a row. And both days I had the 2 of summer here too. So the collective unions are also crowned by the 2 of summer. You're falling in love or experiencing a deepening of emotion in your current relationship. Marriages or romantic partnerships in distress can still be saved. Don't give up. At the root, what we had going on, manifestation. I just said here, specifically for the feminine, we've manifested something in some sort of negative energy. The energy of joy stealing is trying to take it. So we got to be on the lookout. Here is where we manifested it, right? This is at the root of the situation. There is magic in the air. You can manifest everything you need to be successful. The magician for me represents the sign of Gemini. Maybe that's why it's crossing this air card here too. And at the heart of the matter, speaking of potentially Gemini, is the 10 of winter. The end of a career path, project, or a relationship brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. So for some of the feminine, this can be about the end of some sort of relationship or something, or partnership, a friendship, maybe even a relationship with a family member or something. And you just got to trust that everything is going to be okay. Because this is an energy of distrust and lack of confidence, lack of faith. Also, sitting here next to the 10 of winter, like things may not get better. And we have to believe that they will when we see this like this. All right, so let's kind of clarify these with the angel tarot, beginning with the high priestess, which also represents for me the sign of Gemini, as well as water signs. Listen to your intuition, have patience, and consider carefully what you want before acting. An opening to the ace of air. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations. Seeing the truth of a situation and a challenging beginning. I always like to say a beginning nonetheless. Like, why harp on the fact that it was challenging getting here? The fact is we're here now. High priestess and opening to the empress. Both of these would also be like a variation of Venus for me too. The empress absolutely represents the planet Venus and goddess Venus for me. And both of, or two of the signs that she rules, both Libra and Taurus. Lavish abundance, give birth to your dreams, nurture yourself and others. This can also be representative of a party of three. It can be about feeling good, feeling confident, looking good, being like extremely attractive and popular right now. Venus also not only the planet of love and money, but of popularity as well. A little Venus on Venus action here with the Empress opposite the High Priestess. And now opening to the King of Fire, who's motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative if you can. King of Fire, of course, the divine masculine of the tarot, as well as perhaps an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or Scorpio, maybe. Now, no, I'm going to cut. And it's the Queen of Earth. This can be more Venus. Thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach and deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. And the overall energy is the Eight of Air. An illusion of being trapped. A lack of self-confidence and being afraid to take action. So we just saw the lack of self-confidence potentially here for the feminine. And being afraid to take action, just believing that things are not going to get better. Which would manifest negativity into your own life. So you want to watch this. You don't want to block this blessing of the King of Autumn. Or the Two of Summer. Atop the Two of Spring here, the Five of Air could be conflict in some sort of partnership, perhaps the divine union, perhaps a business partnership or something of the masculines. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. Atop the 10 of Spring. So maybe the unwise choice and what's going on has to do with a party of three. A celebration, a wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement. And the need to have more fun. To the positive, this could be maybe you're bringing more people in, involving more people to help you take off some of this burden and load. Atop the 7 of Spring, we've got another Sun. Happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success if you have confidence in yourself. And not only have confidence in yourself, but have confidence in yourself and then stick to your guns. Be assertive. Believe in yourself and don't let anyone take away your personal power. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely and all will be well. Right? Happy outcome. Twice over. We've got two suns here. Atop the 7 of autumn is the 10 of autumn or 10 of earth. A very happy family life, financial security, and finding magic in the little things in life. So we have to believe, feminine, if we don't see this materializing, that it is. You know, just because we don't see, we have to believe it is, and that we've done what we needed to do in order to make this happen, and it is happening. Atop the 7 of winter is a balance. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. So balance is temperance in the traditional tarot, and temperance is a very healing energy, it's a quote unquote karmic, or without the quotes, it's a karmic energy. It's of the universe. It's the universe sending the energy of healing and restoration, right? Balancing out the scales, making everything equitable and fair. For some of us, this has to do with our own energy and maybe like being imbalanced emotionally or spiritually or chemically imbalanced. And so that's like we're not at our full power. Something has stolen like some of our positive energy. And so we're going to be going through a healing period, and we want to be aware of that, conscious of that the 7 of air doesn't have to apply to other people. It can apply to you. You could be getting in the way of blocking your own blessing, stealing your own joy. So be mindful of that. And atop the King of Autumn is the 9 of fire. So if you are persistent and you keep up the good work, again, you will be manifesting abundance this week. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. Atop the 2 of summer, life experience with Archangel Chamuel, a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. For some, like I said, this is not a positive thing, or, well, it is a positive thing, but it's like the Ace of Air, right? It was difficult getting here. It involves the end of some sort of friendship or relationship or something. And that could be another reason why the feminine is getting some healing energy here. But for others, yeah, there is cause to celebrate because this is a couple coming together. It's the end of this painful time and difficult time when the masculine was on his own, and now they are reunited. That is reason to celebrate, and it certainly knocks everybody off their feet like the Tower would do. Some people can actually be physically moving in together too. Again, this week, that can be happening. The Tower can represent an actual physical structure, a building, a home. Having seen the Ace, or beginning with the Ace, which can be about getting a new home, and now we're celebrating. The burden is over. We can rest easier. We have the Tower here representing the structure. For some, this is absolutely a home. At the root, atop the Magician, is a unity. So we're manifesting perhaps commitment, union, a home life together. This can be legal situations, signing a contract for a home. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. Again, for some, this is about getting rid of some sort of friend, particularly the divine feminine, some sort of friend relationship, and being restored by the high priest, getting that healing from him. For others, this has to do with who and what and where we surround ourselves in general. We're going to have to release energy that is not of our vibration of higher, we can't learn anything from it or them, and we can't teach anything to, then we need to part ways. There can also still be some people going to school, having manifested that into their lives as well. At the heart of the matter, the 6 of earth. I just talked about school. This can definitely be about school. Gifts of money, time, or effort. New career opportunities, and receiving a loan or paying off debts. So this is like getting grants, getting tuition assistance, financial aid, maybe loans, student loans, and stuff like that. Could be a home loan. Again, and maybe you were worried about it. It was stressful. That stress coming to an end. There's cause for celebration. The bank called and said, don't worry, you're getting the house. Here's that lump sum of money with the 10 of earth. That restores your energy because you were all sorts of shaky and risky and lacking confidence in the meantime. But now you're coming back into balance. You're being tempered. If you, again, stick to your guns, stay on path, be persistent, don't give up, don't fall into fear. That's when the King of Onab is manifested. On that note, I pulled out my abundance cards too this week. I was feeling to do that. And I think I have enough time to go ahead and lay 9 of them. Beginning with release jealousy. Jealousy is an affirmation that you don't have something and the universe manifests exactly as you affirm. All right, we're being careful here with manifestation. Let other people's success inspire rather than frustrate you. If they can have it, so can you. Oh, speaking of successes, I got wasn't another degree, but I got another state certification this week in the mail that I wasn't expecting again. I mean, I have earned it, but I wasn't aware they had mailed it or that it was on its way to me or that they considered that I had achieved it by October of 2017. That's what it's dated. I had no idea. And anyway, opening to dreams of abundance. As you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal because they contain valuable insights that will help you to manifest your desires into reality. Oh, did I call your attention to this? Well, balance also represents the sign of Sagittarius, first of all, in the tarot. But it's sitting here. I talked about the scales of balance and equity and even them out. Well, it's sitting here next to the 6 of earth and the scales of balance. This 6 of earth, particularly in this deck, but in general too, represents for me, again, the planet Venus, similar to the Empress, because it like details both or 2 of, again, the signs that she rules, both Libra and Taurus here. And this is about total unconditional love for me, even among strangers, like with gifts of time, effort, money. It's like just things coming your way and people doing you a solid, even if you don't, know them maybe. That's unconditional love of goodwill toward men in general. As it relates to couples in romantic relationships or family and friends and people that love each other, it's just even more so. Release jealousy. What in the world? There's a romance card that slipped in here. This may mean something too. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. How weird is that? But I think that was a message for us because it just has to be. Why would it be here? Block out distractions. Your life purpose and other priorities need your undivided attention. So it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and working environment by turning off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what these distractions are, and you have the power or responsibility to block them out. Release jealousy. I'll go one more. Let go of guilt. When you allow your light to shine brightly, you inspire others. Forgive yourself for what you think you've done or not done, and trust that God loves you unconditionally for who you are. Learn and grow from past mistakes instead of berating yourself for them. Release jealousy. And now I'm looking at this 5 of air again. Again, I think that this can be, we've got the 2 stakes in the ground. We're trying to move toward a full foundation, a relationship, a house, both, you know, something like that, a solid foundation. And it's a challenging energy too. The 5 of air can just be like, it's difficult, it's challenging. Are we going to make it? You know, is the loan going to come through? Is the landlord going to like us and you know, accept our application? All that kind of stuff. Is the school going to accept me? Am I going to get in? Am I graduating? And I've come to savings. As you consistently save for your future is saved. You do your future self a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is a part of your self-care and path to feeling secure as you focus upon your life purpose. The overall energy is block out distractions. Your life purpose and other priorities need your undivided attention. So it's time for you to take charge of your schedule and your working environment by turning off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what's important. You already know what these distractions are, and you have the power to responsibly block them out. Here atop the 5 of air and the 2 of wands. Organize for success. Don't let the word organize intimidate you, as it is simply a way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. So this can be like being unclear and confused and challenged. Getting organized can help you with that. Organizing your thoughts, your reports, your living and workspace, and your finances will help you to know and plan for your next action steps. Atop the 3 of water and the 10 of spring, let go of guilt. You don't have to carry this whole burden yourself. That's what guilt is. It's a big, heavy burden. You can let it go or share the load equitably with somebody else. When you allow your light to shine brightly, you inspire others. Forgive yourself for what you think you've done or not done, and trust that God loves you unconditionally for who you are. Learn and grow from your past mistakes instead of berating yourself for them. So masculine, you're guided here to, you're blocking your own abundance, as I said, based on one of the other cards before. And so you're guided to let that go and move on. Atop the sun and the 7 of spring, dreams of abundance. As you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. This is right where it belongs, here in the subconscious. Divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal because they contain valuable insights that will help you to manifest your desires into reality. Feminine, atop the 10 of earth and the 7 of earth, visualize abundance in all forms. You've got 2 forms right here. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualized eventually becomes reality. So that's why we want to only visualize positive things. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience. So remember, from here, we're being careful about what we manifest, with the magician sitting there at the root. Atop balance and the 7 of winter is release jealousy. Remember this energy of joy stealing? That's what this is, like negative and toxic emotions. Jealousy is an affirmation that you don't have something, and the universe manifests exactly as you affirm. Look how it's crossing manifestation here, crossing the magician. Let other people's successes inspire rather than frustrate you. If they have it, so can you. Atop the 9 of fire and the King of Autumn. Employment change. The King of Autumn, which can definitely be about even getting a job that you didn't even apply for. Somebody can call you up and say, hey, I got this opening here. Would you like it? And next thing you know, employment change. Your career path is leading you in a higher direction with positive changes to support your dreams, priorities, passions, and life purpose. Trust that these changes will help you to release the old and to welcome the new. You are being supported each step of the way. Atop the Tower and the 2 of summer. Raise or promotion. I told you it was a good tower. Congratulations. An increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is the result of your positive focus and your willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. So that's like a union ascending is one of the raises. It's like a literal raise in vibration. Atop the magician and unity, or the high priest or the hierophant, is successful funding. Your idea is divinely guided and supported by the same infinite wisdom that God that gave you the idea. Do not allow money concerns to prevent you from turning it into a reality. I always say, like, I believe that the universe wants us together. I talked about kissing the frog several times. I just picked up the card and showed you the frog before. Like, you have to accept the frog first, and then you get the funding. It's about faith first. So you have to believe that you're supported, and that you can't worry about the money concerns, like how am I going to physically do this? Just be willing to do it. Crowdfunding, partnerships, and other investments are available to help you. This can be about partnerships, absolutely, of different kinds, of people coming together to support. This can be, GoFundMe or whatever. Surrounding yourself with people of your vibration or higher, people of like minds, people who, are attracted to you energetically. They will support you. At the heart of the matter, atop the 6 of earth and the 10 of winter, again, difficulties as it relates to abundance and maybe particularly financial, or at least for the purposes of this part of the reading. And we're not going to visit those again. Now that we've been receiving help, gifts of effort, time, or money, and we can start to replenish this bank and not go back to this. We got to believe, right, that we're never going to revisit this kind of energy again. It's the end of this. We've been saved. And now we're saving. As you consistently save for the future, your future is saved. You do your future self a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is a part of your self-care and path to feeling secure as you focus upon your life purpose. Additionally, masculine, release or death. It's time to release the past and to move on to something new. This ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. I just got, for some of you, this is indeed a party of 3 of some sort that also has to die. Okay, you got to get whatever. It's not necessarily romantic or a love triangle again, but it can be. It's some sort of party of 3, whatever, that's not healthy. It may involve a water sign specifically. You may be the water sign or the other person. It doesn't matter. It may involve a water sign. But whatever the party of 3 is, it has to die. Okay, it's time to release it. It's of the past. It no longer serves you. And it's stepping in the way of your potentially happier future. So you have to let it go. Even if it's just the energy of guilt from having been in the situation in the first place. You got to let that go too. So death to that. Of course, death or release represents the sign of Scorpio in the tarot, but it can represent another water sign too. Or just the energy of transformation or endings. For the feminine, the Four of Autumn. Be cautious about living a life of extremes or seeing things in black and white terms. Consider, for example, whether you're spending too much versus hoarding your wealth, or giving too much emotionally versus building walls that keep people out. So you want to be able to come into this balance, right? No extremes, no fear of sharing and unconditional love and equity. We want this. And masculine, from the angels, they say the Six of Fire, victory, good news, it's on its way, public recognition or awards. That good news can be, again, the success that you're getting, the abundance that's coming into you when you release the blocks that are sort of self-imposed because you've been holding on to the negative energy that it's in the way. And the negative people and things, places, you let go of that stuff, there goes the flow. Feminine, for us, justice. The right thing will be done, whether it's by the masculine, ourselves, or somebody else, whatever. The universe, Venus herself, who is represented by this card as the ruler of Libra. More scales of balance and fairness, equity. That's what this seems to be an overlying theme this week. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. Some of us may have a legal situation. Again, signing a contract. Signing a contract for a new business, a commitment, maybe even a marriage. That could be too. Maybe a divorce. That could be what the 10 of air and 7 of air together are about for some of the feminine as well. Maybe a divorce involving an air sign. And masculine, moonlighting. You can start working on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay the bills. Soon your dream career will take flight and fully support you. And lastly, feminine, declutter. You'll feel better and more focused if you'll take the time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need your items. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. It's funny, I talked about the Divine Light Cleanse that I may do some sort of promo on the 7th. One of my clients purchased for their mother, who's a bit of a hoarder. I think many of us have like these mothers that hoard, that have stuff from like the day we were born, maybe the day they were born. But anyway, funny story. Speaking of clutter, this one had furniture and clothes and stuff for a dog that she never owned. She just had all kinds of stuff for a dog to take care of a dog, like really lavishly, and did not own a dog, does not own a dog. I just thought that was hilarious. So if you got stuff like that going on, that's going, get rid of it, and that's going to open up the flow of abundance to you as well. I hope that you guys enjoyed the weekly reading and find it helpful. I'll be back with love. Namaste, angels.